Hello my darlings, welcome to Raesworld. Grab yourself a cup of tea or your favourite beverage and let's chat about Love Island. Guys, let me know down below, are you watching Love Island? Let me know who's your favourite couple, who would you like to win. It's still early days in the villa. I am loving it. I love Love Island. It cracks me up and honestly it just makes me laugh. So 2 years ago guys, 2 years ago I made a video called Should Christians Watch Love Island? So I'm going to link that down below. And guys, I watched it back and it's always weird when you watch your videos back from like a while ago, and I still think all of the things that I said, there was a couple of things I thought, oh, I'd say that this way now, but generally I think all the same things. I always want to encourage you guys, after watching these chatty videos, definitely go in, think about what you think, go to the Word of God, have a little pray and discern your season as well, all those good things. So guys, as you know, Love Island has started and I was super loving this and very reflective because I've been reading this book which I have finished. It took me 3 days to read because it was that good. Notes on Love. It's about being single and dating in a marriage obsessed church, and it was such a good read. I'm going to share a couple of quotes today, but as I was reading this, as I was watching Love Island, I was thinking about the lessons that people are learning from watching Love Island that are the younger generation. So there's over 2 million young people watching Love Island, which is an amazing amount of people. So this program is influencing a generation and being an example to how to do relationships and dating. And my question was is this teaching people about true love, or is it more about lust and romantic fantasies? Now saying that, we know, shout out to Alex and Olivia, and there are a few other couples, I think there's about 5 couples that have come out of Love Island that are still going strong, they're in strong relationships. That's good. The rest of the couples that have come out in relationships with each other, it's probably lasted about a year and then they've broken up. And so I've just been thinking about this. All banter aside, right guys, after every episode I'm straight on the memes, I am cracking up, I love the memes, but all banter aside, so a little situation that's going on in the villa at the moment. We got Jake and we got Liberty. Liberty is an absolute sweetheart. She's gorgeous, she's got a cracking personality, she's passionate, she's sassy, she's faithful, she's loyal, she's protective, and she is so committed, and she has fallen hard for the guy she's coupled up with called Jake. Now Jake, he is saying to her that, yeah, I really like you, yes, see a future, yes, you're the perfect girl for me, etc, etc. But behind her back to his friends and to the camera and to the United Kingdom on television, he is basically saying, I like her, but I'm gonna wait and see if someone better comes along. And honestly, I think it's really sad that Jake, because he's got this fantasy in his head of a better woman, or he's got this worry that he'll miss out on a good thing if he sticks with Liberty, he's actually missing something in front of him that would be so good for him. She has values, she is beautiful, she's got great personality, she's committed to him, but he's missing it because he's just so blinded by the fact that someone better could come along. And as you guys know, if you watch Love Island, this situation obviously happens a lot in Love Island, and I'm thinking, is this teaching us to be more superficial in our relationships? And I want to read my first quote from Lauren's book, which I think is so good, and she talks about something called privilege paralysis, and it says this: the more options, the harder it is to choose. When you realise your decision isn't absolutely perfect, it's easy to run through the array of options you turn down and imagine them to be superior. Barry Schwartz, I'm hoping I said that right, explains this is because of all the options, you have very high expectations of the one that you pick, the relationship that you're in, expectations are a killer, they are resentments in the making. So the dating culture is kind of creating this mindset that there is always someone better. When you don't feel it anymore, or when someone hotter comes along, you sack that off and you go on to the next thing. So I find it interesting that after these guys have been going out with each other for about a year, and basically until the honeymoon period's over and the hype has gone down, and then it comes to the season of your relationship where you're doing real life together, it kind of fizzles out. And why does it fizzle out? They don't know that true love isn't always based on your feelings. It's not always based on your feelings, and we need more in a partner than just looks and just the superficial things. How much money they have, what job they have, how good they look in a bikini or good they look in a swimsuit or whatever. There is so much more. We need more of a solid foundation and true love. Let's chat about true love. We want to look for character, okay? Guys, character is sexy, all right? We want to meet someone. Yes, we need to be attracted to them, but that is just one part, and sex is just one part of marriage, right? And we want to be looking for things like integrity and nobility, laughter. Will I be able to laugh through the hard times with this person? Do they give me freedom? Are they encouraging? I heard someone say once, and I actually think it was in Lauren's book as well, that watch how your date treats the waiter, because that actually says a lot about their character. We want to ask ourselves questions like, can I wake up at 3 a.m. to a screaming baby with this person? Those solid characteristics that you need in a partner for the long haul, not just on how you feel based in the moment that you're in. And I just want to say that relationships are not perfect. They're not a fantasy, but we do live in a social media generation where there are pictures where life looks perfect. It's all the highlights, it's all edited, and I love Instagram. I think it's so much fun, but every single person on Instagram have got problems. They are human. Humans, we've got things going on. We're beautiful, we're glorious, but we're messy and we've got imperfections, and we're constantly growing as well. And there will never be another person that can fix that humanness. Jesus, the only one that can bring that wholeness. Another person can't complete it. And I just wanted to quickly share this post that Jason Valatin wrote about lust versus love, and I just thought it was so powerful. And this is just a really good thing to think about as we watch Love Island and the foundations that these guys are building for their relationships. And it says this: being in love is a decision, being in lust is a feeling. Being in love arises from the heart, the soul, and the body. Being in lust arises from hormones. Being in love is about what I can give. Being in lust is about what I can get. Being in love is unconditional. Being in love is conditional. Being in love is silence understood, and being in love is silence that's uncomfortable. Being in lust. Being in love wants the best for the other person, and being in lust tends to be more about you. Being in love is intentional. Being in lust is instant. Being in love is devotional. Being in lust is suspicious. Being in love gifts someone. Being in lust grasps someone. Being in love communicates, and being in lust manipulates. So when a relationship is totally built on just lust, and that is literally it, that's the foundation, it's gonna fizzle out, because true love requires sacrifice, choosing that person when life is hard, when life is throwing those things at you. You have to choose, right? Just like having a child, right? Your love, it's unconditional, isn't it? I just think that quote was such a good thing to kind of just bear in our minds as we're watching Love Island this year. Genuinely hope the Love Islanders find love in the villa, but I think it's so important to talk about this, because there are things that are happening, and the language that's used that is teaching us this more superficial, selfish way of doing relationship. And also when you get married as well, you're promising to someone that you're going to forsake all others. And I think that what you sow in your dating season and in your single season is actually really powerful. And what you sow into your single season now, you'll reap a harvest, I think, later down the line in marriage. And I'm not saying that marriage will always be easy and perfect, but I am saying that dating in a healthy way that isn't so greedy and self-absorbed, and only cares about how it affects you and not the other person, not taking care of people's hearts and all those things. I think dating well in a healthy way will equip you for later down the line when you do meet the right person. And I'm going to read that quote actually one more time, this whole privilege paralysis thing, because in Christian dating, do we have the same attitude? Maybe some of us are actually in a relationship with someone, but we're not fully committing to it because we think someone better will come along. So we're actually not treating that person with the respect and communication and honesty they deserve. Just good to bear this in mind, isn't it? Let's read that quote again, okay? Let me read the quote again from this book, okay? Privilege paralysis. The more options, the harder it is to choose, okay? Choose. We want to choose that person, don't we, to build with. When you realise your decision isn't absolutely perfect, what is perfect? Perfect isn't even a thing, is it? When it comes to us lovely, beautiful humans. It's easy to run through the array of options you turn down and imagine them to be superior. For example, people in the villa. I've met someone, but someone in the villa, someone else might come along that's even better. So I'm gonna hold off, and I will have sex with you, and I will get all my emotional needs met, and I will sort of feed my ego with this relationship. But I'm gonna wait till someone better comes along. But I'll just keep you for now. This kind of attitude that is kind of creating this mindset, isn't it, that will affect us down the line. Guys, I know this might sound like, oh man, a bit intense, but it's actually so true and so important. Okay, so it's easy to run through the array of options. So fantasy, someone that's better, and imagine it to be superior. Barry Schwartz explains this is because all the options, you have very high expectations for the one you pick. Okay, we're expecting the person that we pick to be perfect. They're always going to fall short. And then I'm going to read from Lauren's book, and it says this: the one/soulmates don't actually exist. The idea another person can complete you is not founded on any biblical truth. It's misinformation from Jerry Maguire, or Love Island in this case. Building your hope on this and in this is a waste of time. Building our hope into this perfect fantasy of a relationship that will be happily ever after is gonna let us down. Okay, so if you are dating right now, how can we leave that person better off? How can we take care of people's hearts and just be self-aware? It's something Lauren puts at the end, and it says, this is my prayer for you. I pray that you settle for too short or too tall, for not enough money or a student without a proper job, for someone who doesn't own a home and probably never, for someone who's not been a Christian for long enough or is too Christian, for someone who has never had sex before or someone who has had too much sex, for someone whose past isn't squeaky clean, for someone whose mum is too present in their life, for someone who doesn't quite get your jokes on the first date and doesn't actually find the office that funny, for someone who would take a while to warm up if you introduce them to your friends, for someone who is not your type, for someone who you wouldn't usually go for someone who doesn't tick all the boxes. I pray that you never feel forced to compromise on connection, but are open to God showing it in the places you didn't expect. And I love that. And she's not saying settle for being treated less than you deserve. Don't be fooled by the fantasy that tells you that there is someone that can make you 100% happy all of the time and it will be happily ever after. That's not true love. True love is when you choose an imperfect person who has those qualities and those characteristics and that you adore and you fall for, yes, but someone that you can choose every day when life is hard, someone that has got the character to carry that through the hard times and all of those things, someone you can build with in your life, and you don't have to rush into anything. You know, we sometimes see on Love Island, you know, I've seen a few times now some of the guys pressure even the girls to kiss before they are actually ready. Like, I don't know if you saw, I think it was last night's episode, you know, Danny went to kiss Adi and you could just see she was uncomfortable. She didn't want to kiss him, she wasn't ready, but she kind of felt pressured into it. Okay, there's this huge pressure, but stand your ground, babe, and feel free to explore friendship before you commit to anything. And yeah, you're just so worth that. You're so worth the wait as well. And we know that Jake and Liberty have already, you know, they've had sex, or they've had some sort of sexual contacts. They spoke about it, and I just think, oh, that beautiful girl, she is going to find out later down the line that he actually isn't even interested really as much as she's hoping. And you know, I've been there, and maybe you've been there, or you are right now, and I just want to say God can heal that stuff. I'll put a video down below as well about all about sex and my sort of process with why God said about sex before marriage even. You know, I used to think that, oh, God's a party pooper, he doesn't want us to have fun. Why is he saying we can't have sex with our boyfriends even if we're in love and all those things? It's all good. And I get that, and there's like sometimes it's messy in process and things like that, but when I see these situations, I kind of get it. God wants to protect our hearts. You know, it made me think of a scene in Made in Chelsea as well, where this girl is super upset because her ex-boyfriend came into the restaurant that she had sex with, you know, benefits of what marriage brings in their relationship, but now he split up with her and now he's sleeping with one of her friends, and they were at a table together, and all of her insecurities are coming up, and she was so hurt, and just gets so messy, doesn't it, when we live by our feelings and we rush into things and all those things. And like I said, there's nothing God can't heal and redeem, and I am talking from a place of I've been there, I have had sex before marriage, I've been in relationship, and all of those things. We could chat for hours over a cup of tea about all of these things, you know, there's so much to cover, but I'm gonna round it up there, guys. Okay, that was a bit of a deep chat, wasn't it? So enjoy Love Island and just think about it. Let me know what your thoughts are. What's true love to you? What do you think true love is, and what are you learning about that stuff? Feel free to comment down below, and definitely grab this book. I will link it down below as well. Link down below, link down below. How many times have I said that in this video? Right, guys, take care. Mwah. I love you guys, and I will see you next week. Bye.